Woo! Hi man. So today we're gonna talk about money. That's fun. Everybody likes money, and here in Spain it's called pasta. So necesito pasta. And building a car is for many people a steep cost. It costs a lot of money. But is it really expensive to build a car? Or is it really fucking cheap? That's what we're going to talk about today. And I don't really know if we can make a full episode of this, but we'll see what happens. Because I have not prepared shit, as you know. I'm just talking, like always. So, if you're going to build a car, it costs a lot of money. But a lot of money doesn't mean expensive. It only means, what the fuck? So there are some new killer flies, apparently. A lot of money doesn't mean expensive. It only means a lot of money. So, take for example a BMW M3. And this was many years ago, 2004. This was 2004, so this is 18 fucking years ago. And this car cost 40,000 euros, give or take. And that's like the most expensive car ever, because it's shit. I hate you, the M3 is the best. Yeah, the M3 is really fucking good. For 40,000 euros, it's the worst fucking shit car ever. But today you can buy one for 15,000. And for 15,000 euros, it's a really fucking good car. So the cost is a little bit about what you're getting for your money. And if you want a really, really fucking slow car that can turn good, then you can buy an M3. If you want a fast car, you build a super turbo diesel. That's what you do. So, let's see what you get for your money. Let's say that you buy a crate engine. And this crate engine is plus 500 horsepower, fully built, perfect, with everything. You just plug and play. And this engine is roughly 20,000 euros. That's a fucking expensive engine, isn't it? Or is it? And you have a car. You have a W124 or W21 or something like that. And that car is in really good nick. So maybe you bought it for 3,000 euros. But let's make it simple. It's a video. So 5,000 euros. So I don't need a fucking calculator. That's 25,000 euros. And you need a little bit of transmission and a rear end and suspension and shit like that. Right? So that's another 5,000 euros. 30,000 euros. Right? And we had 5,000 for good measure. So 35,000 euros. So for 35,000 euros, you have your W21 or W124 in really good nick with a 606, more than 500 horsepower, and it just runs every day like any normal car, and it's fast as fuck. 35,000 euros. So what can you buy? Go online and see what you can buy that can match the performance of this W21 or W124. Because for 35,000 euros, your options are really fucking limited. This is a car that will match the performance of an old Ferrari. And with your 5,000 euros of suspension. You know, they raced in DTM with the W201, so suspension wise they're really fucking good. So you can turn your car, and you can accelerate your car, and you can do top speed runs with your car. For 35,000 euros, it's a cheap fucking car. A lot of money? Yeah, it is. But you have to think about what you can get otherwise for the same amount of money. GTR? No. Ferrari? No. Lambo? No. So the M series BMWs that can match this performance? No. AMGs? Yeah, alright, so let's say the C32. C32 with a pulley and a ship? Still slower. Cheaper, yeah, but slower. W211, the 55 compressor. Yeah, that's a really fucking fast car. Same there, you know, it's just pulley on a ship. Cheaper? Yeah. Big as fuck? Yeah. Handling wise? No. You know, what can you get for your 35,000 euros that can match this car? It's not a lot of things. And this is when we're talking about the slow ass fucking diesels. For the same amount of money, you have a 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower BMW turbo, if we're talking petrol. And that's impossible to match. For the money, it's impossible. But even the slow ass fucking diesels. So, building a car is really fucking cheap. And I have some combined, let's say that, combined experience in the projects. How the fuck can you say that? Building a car is a project, and in the building, the combined experience of people building cars. That's might be the most correct I can do in English. So I have brothers, friends, and customers, and the combined experience of all these people is a lot. And the thin red line going through all these builds are that the faster you can build your car, it will probably even be a little bit cheaper, but it will also be more satisfying and more fun for you. And I'm not a bank loan guy for anything. But the thing is that if you're gonna build like my good friend built his Audi S2 coupe and like 590 all-wheel horsepower, something like that. So it was a decent S2 for sure. But it took him 3 years to build a car. And every fucking paycheck, he tried to buy something. Buy a turbo, buy some rods, whatever the fuck he bought. 3 years. And when the car was done, he didn't even want the car. And he built the car with a recipe that was 3 years old. So the car didn't perform as the cars did when this car was done. And you know, he drove it for a couple of weeks and then he sold it. So it was only pain and no fucking gain. And that's, you know, the thin red line is just that. It's all fucking pain and no gain. And you know, if you don't have the cash, it's still gonna cost the same fucking money. So just get the cash, buy everything today, put the car together tomorrow, and drive your car for 3 years. it is actually better. You have a lot of fun. You have all the parts on a fucking pallet in the garage, and everything is just fantastically awesome. And that's my 5 cents, I think, for this video. That it's better to actually build your car now than to build it in 3 years. And also, if you build it in 3 years, you're going to be so frustrated after 2.5 years that you're going to cut your corners. And when you cut corners, nothing going to be as you expected it to be from the beginning. So think about it. It's cheap to build a car because the performance you get if you choose the correct parts is outmatching anything for the same amount of money. This is okay, so we have the butt of the day. If you can build the car yourself, if you're gonna leave it to someone to build it, like your local mechanic, then it's not gonna be 35,000. It's gonna be another 10,000 or something for the mechanic to build a car. So, and that's also the thing, that there's a lot of people that want to build cars, but they don't really have the skills to pull an engine or do something like that. And for you guys, I think it's maybe better to just buy a finished car. And there's a lot of them online. People that have built the cars for 3 years, drive it for 2 weeks, and yeah, they sell them. And that's maybe the better route for you guys that don't build yourself. Because how plug and play and how OE fit and how whatever things are, it's never gonna be Lego. It's never gonna be Lego. You know? So, yeah, I think that's the best. Buy your car finished if you can't build it yourself. If you can build it, it's a lot of fucking bang for the buck. And don't be afraid to go to the bank, because then you can build your fucking car today. See you in 3 days.